Hi, welcome to Gamers Web. My name is Mark. In this video, I'm going to take a look at the starter paint set from TT Combat. I don't often do reviews of paints or taking a look at paints because I find them quite difficult to do. I'm not the best artist in the world, I know that, but I'll give it my best shot. Now, I predominantly paint using Vallejo and war paints. And recently, TT Combat, they still got the sale going on. A lot of these spray cans, so this is mummified khaki, they are reduced to £5. So I bought eight lots of them altogether, of different colours to paint up MDF buildings and base coat and prime armies. And the first two sets that I got, so the first box that I got a free pot of paint with it, and I'd never tried TT Combat's basic acrylic paints before, so I I opened it up and I gave it a try, and I was really mega impressed by the viscosity of the paint, the way it flowed, and the coverage was fantastic. So I thought I'll try and get a few more. So I bought a couple of more paints from Amazon, and from TT Combat that came in the next order, and then I picked up this set from Amazon. Now, my intentional goal is to actually cover the entire range, but at the moment all I can afford to get is this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this paint set, and I'm also going to compare these paints with the paints that I use regularly. Now, to try and be completely fair with these paints and the paints that I use regularly, I'm going to use paints from Annie Painter's Speedpaint range, with the exception of the white and black, which are going to be from the Fantatic range, and they're going to be from Speedpaints too, because the only paints that I've got that match these, more or less. So let's crack on. So TT Combat starter paint set, 10 paints, nice illustration on the front because TT Combat are very good at doing illustrations. And on the back we have some blurb about the paints, which unfortunately for me is too small for me to read. So I've got severe vision problems, so anybody who's been on the channel for a while knows that I've had issues with my eyesight, and I've been diagnosed with glaucoma and cataracts, so I'm waiting for further investigation into that. So very small text is useless for me. Okay, so we get 10 paints, well 8 paints and the 2 shades. We get succulent green, trench mud, Adriatic skin, black, viscera red, gunmetal, EAA blue, white, admiralty grey, and spotlight yellow. Okay, so let's just jump straight in and see what we get. I'm just going to take the cellophane off for all you ASMR fans out there. I hate this noise. I'll try and do it as quickly as possible because I absolutely hate it. Okay, so cellophane off, and we open up, and there's no paint charts or anything like that in here. It's just an empty box, so we just leave the box up at the top for the moment, and we'll have a look at our paints. Okay, so we have spotlight yellow. I'm going to go through each one of these on a swatch in a little while. We've got admiralty grey. I'm going to try and work out a way of doing this better as well if I can. We've got our white. We've got our blue, which is EAA blue, which is a lot more vibrant than it is on the swatch on the back. We've got a gunmetal. We've got a very vibrant looking viscera red. Obviously if it says viscera you think it will be quite vibrant. We have got a black. We have got a flesh colour, which is the Adriatic skin. And we have got trench mud, which is a deep brown. And we've got succulent green, which is a kind of a forest green. Okay, so I'm going to very quickly get one of these opened. I'm going to try with the yellow, because yellow's always quite a hard colour to actually represent. So I'm going to give it a shake, and then I'm going to actually use my vortex to actually shake it up. But as you can see, the cap doesn't come off. That's because you've got to actually twist the cap until it snaps, and even then it's, there we go, you have to push it down and twist it to get the cap to break. And now I've just taken off the cap, and you can see there's the applicator, and it's very, very vibrant right out of the box. And the good thing about these caps is, I'm just going to take this collar off. Once I put this back on again, like that, put it back in place, it still doesn't come off. Oh, it did come off. The other one didn't come off. I've probably not pushed it down far enough, but there's a locking mechanism on the inside of the cap, which basically means that you're not going to be losing paint, more or less. Right, so I'm going to pause here for a moment, and I'm going to get the paint swatch out, and I'll paint these up, and we'll come back and we'll have a quick look. So I shall be right back. Okay, welcome back. Right, so I've done a bit of a swatch here. It's not a very good one. Hopefully for the next one I'll do a much better swatch. But this is a quick look at all the paints you get in the TT Combat Starter paint set. And I used my Mini Vortex, which is basically a nail polish agitator that I got off Temu. Really, really good value. It was like £8, and it's fantastic for shaking paints and agitating them. So I used that to agitate all of them. Every bottle that I did, I agitated for about a minute and a half. In fairness, the full range of paints that I've got from Army Painter doesn't all match this, so I've got as approximately close colour as possible. But let's get into it. Right, and also to be fair to the other paints as well as TT Combat, I'm going to explain how many coats each one's had. Okay, so we'll start off, we'll have a look at the black. Okay, so the first one is a TT Combat Black, and I will bring up the swatch. As you can see, it covered really well. These are just all MDF bases. They're all primed with the same colour, which is just a neutral white, a generic car primer. It turned out really, really well on one coat, which was really cool. The competitor is Army Painter's War Paints Matte Black, and this is a Fantatic paint. This is a brand new one. That is 2 coats, and as you can see, it's not very good. Not very good at all. Next up, we have the TT Combat White. Flawless. Not a single problem there. Not a single problem went on. Completely covered. You can't see the base or anything. Compared to the Matte White from Army Painter, which is 3 coats. Now, some of these paints are actually speed paints, so they will take more than 1 coat, but we'll get to that when we get to it. The Succulent Green is our next contender from TT Combat. 1 coat. Covers really well. Little patchy, but that's to be expected because I was kind of rushing this. The next up, facing that one, is the Commando Green from Army Painter. This is the old Commando Green rather than the Fantatic one. This was awful. This was a terrible paint. I don't even know why I've got this in my collection. That's 3 coats, and as you can see, it's terrible. It's not very good at all, and I was very, very disappointed with that. Next up, we have one of the only paints I don't really like in the TT Combat one so far is Trench Brown. Now, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a muddy brown, which turned out quite good. It looks very grey to me. That could just be me though. And going up against that, I use a speed paint. So I used Arden Leather, which is a speed paint 2.0, so it's a new one, and that was 3 coats of Hardened Leather. Not very dark, still patchy in places, and it's still drying. Our next up from TT Combat is the Adriatic Skin, which is a very, very warm flesh colour. That went on really well. 1 coat, and I used against that one Peachy Flesh, which is probably the best of the speed paints that I used actually. That's 2.0 speed paint, and that's one coat of Peachy Flesh, which was very good. I'd say that was probably the best of the speed paints. Next up for TT Combat is the EAA Blue. This is a very thick and vibrant blue. Goes on really well, one coat. I originally started off using Beowulf Blue, but after 4 coats it was just pooling. It wasn't actually sticking to the undercut, so I switched to the next one which I've got, which was Ultramarine Blue from Fantatic. It's slightly darker, but it's the closest I've got to this blue. Then we go on to the reds. TT Combat, we've got this Viscera Red, which is very, very good. Really good, nice and clear paint. It flows off the brush really well. One coat, perfect. Army Painter, Slaughter Red, 2 coats, went on very well. Was very pleased with that one actually. Next up for TT Combat, we have the Spotlight Yellow, which is a really vibrant yellow once you get to paint with it. I'm looking forward to doing my Veerman using that against Demonic Yellow from Warpaint Fantatic. This is the Fantatic version rather than the old version of Demonic Yellow. That's one coat. That went on really, really well. Both of those, I'd say, are very, very good colours. I don't have a grey from Army Painter. The closest I've got is Grim Black, which is a grey. So that's the Admiralty Grey from TT Combat. One coat, went on perfect. And Grim Black from Speedpaint, it's patchy, not very good. And the only colour that I didn't really like of all the colours, I mean the trench mud is alright, I wasn't very enamoured with it, is the gunmetal. Now this could be because I didn't shake it for long enough. I didn't agitate it long enough. I'm going to try again. And the proof of the pudding is in the eating, as they say. I'm actually going to paint some miniatures using entirely TT Combat paints. And I'm going to do a video on that, just using TT Combat paints very shortly. Up against that was Broadsword Silver, which is the only speed paint I've got from Speedpaint from Army Painter 2.0. That one turned out all right. That was 3 coats. That was 1 coat. So literally all of the Army Painter paints were either 1, 2 or 3 coats, and one of them having to be repainted completely, or in the case of the TT Combat, they were all 1 coat. So they all went on really, really well, and I'm very pleased with the TT Combat paints. So this is just a quick look at them. Another thing that is good about the paints, and we'll just go very quickly, have a quick look. So we've got the nozzle. As I said, you have to push this down to get the lid off, which is a good idea. And I like the fact that it's a very thin nozzle. It means you don't waste as much. And we look on the sides. Our paint is 17mm, and our paint on the Speed Painter is I think this is 17mm as well. It doesn't actually say. Yeah, I think there's a 17mm as well. But the thing is, like, the paints from Army Painter, I have used speed paints here. Speed paints aren't as viscous as, got a lower viscosity than the TT Combat paints and to regular paints. But when all's said and done, these 3 paints here, those 3, were all multiple coats. And they are acrylic paints. They're not washes, they're not speed paints. They were multiple coats to actually get what I've got. And the green is terrible. The green is like probably one of the worst greens I've ever used from Army Painter. Right, okay, so that's a quick look at the basic paint set from TT Combat. I hope somebody finds this of interest. I'm hoping to get more paints to actually have a look at. As I say, I've got quite a few of these now. I've got about 12 of them. 8 of them, sorry, not 12. So These are currently £5 a piece on the TT Combat website because they're reformulating them. They cover absolutely brilliantly. They're very good on MDF, and I've been using them to undercoat my Wild West stuff and my Samurai stuff, which I'm really looking forward to showing off. So that's about it. I'm not Stolly from League of Painters. I'm not a really good artist, and I don't have the time or the patience or the technical know-how to paint like Stolly does and do all these amazing swatches. Hopefully Stolly might actually do a coverage of the TT Combat paints, because the guy's amazing. I'll leave a link to Tolly's website, YouTube channel in the description. I'll also leave a link to the TT Combat page where you can get your own copies of these. And hopefully see you guys all again soon. No matter where you are in the world, please stay safe, look after yourself, and keep on painting. My name's Mark. Thanks for tuning in, and bye for now.